August 2nd, yes, I remember it very vividly. It was a hot summer day. Normally in August we are in vacation in Bulgaria and go to the Black Sea, but this was an extraordinary summer without summer vacation, without Black Sea. We had to draft the new Bulgarian constitution, the first democratic constitution after the Second World War. We were very much under the excitement of the changes in Bulgaria. I was sitting normally on one of these 6 places. We didn't have fixed seats in the parliament. Only the leaders of the parliamentary group were sitting here on the front seats. At that time, I was a member of the democratic opposition of the UDF, representing an ecological movement there. And the ex-communist prime minister and communist speaker of parliament, Mr. Todorov, was sitting here, and this was a discussion basically between him and me. And I couldn't expect that a debate between 2 parliamentarians will be transformed into a debate between 2 civilizations which were clashing here in Bulgaria. We were discussing the reduction of the Bulgarian armed forces, which at that time amounted to 120,000 troops. This is a huge amount of armed forces for a country of our size. And I was among those who were proposing a drastic reduction of the armed forces to have a professional army with mobile forces, not old-fashioned army to fight with the neighbors, to fight with the West, but to fight with the enemies. Real enemies. And this was the day when exactly Saddam Hussein invaded Kuwait. So it was very topical to talk about coalition, to talk about liberation, to talk about freedom. A colleague from the Socialist Party made a replica to me, asking me, and who will be protecting Bulgaria, Mr. Passy? And I had to immediately to create the answer, and I told him, look, I know who will be protecting Bulgaria. It will be Bulgaria's membership in NATO who will be protecting Bulgaria. And I make use of this official moment to address an official inquiry to the Minister of Foreign Affairs about the perspectives for Bulgaria to withdraw from the Warsaw Pact and to join NATO.
Проучва ли българското правителство възможността, щото България да стане членка на НАТО?
I don't know what they were thinking. Maybe most of them were thinking that I was insane. When I met a couple of weeks later the then Secretary General of NATO, Manfred Wörner, he told me that almost everybody was laughing in NATO when he reported to the North Atlantic Council that some funny Bulgarian proposed Bulgaria to withdraw from the Warsaw Pact and join NATO. But he was not one of those who were laughing. On the contrary, he was among those who were the strongest supporters of Bulgaria's accession and aspiration to join NATO. I think that the people took this idea seriously in the mid-90s, say 5 years after we discussed it here in the Bulgarian parliament. And I, of course, was not having in mind how long was the road between the wish of one parliamentarian and the decision of all allies that a new member will be invited.
The national anthem and flag of Bulgaria.
I had invested 14 years of my life in that cause. In the beginning and at the end of the process, I was parliamentarian, respective foreign minister. I remember the last 14 years which were running like a high-speed train through my brain, and maybe this high-speed train of 14 years created the emotions. This was one great step towards another goal, which was still on the horizon at that time. This was the membership in the European Union. Because had we failed for NATO, we would fail for the European Union. This is for sure. As soon as we got the shield of NATO, the direct foreign investment in Bulgaria doubled each year. So this is one of the obvious results of membership in NATO, not speaking about tourism, not speaking about development of economy, not speaking about development of democracy. This was a strategic cause. This was a strategic target. This was a horizon for the future. If you have such a remote horizon, it means that you are directing the whole development of a country, the whole development of a nation into one very specific direction.